Hello and welcome back to another challenge run. In this challenge, we are taking on Pokémon Legends Arceus with only baby Pokémon. My thoughts on this run, I think it'll be easy. I think I'll have to level up my Pokémon to about mid 80s when I fully complete the game. I don't think there'll be too much problems. But overall, I think it will be fun. As the game starts off, we must help the professor catch the 3 starter Pokemon. First one being Rowlet, the grass flying type, Cyndaquil, the fire type, and Oshawott, the water type. In case if you were wondering, I decided to pick Oshawott. Not that it matters, because as we begin, we will be getting our first true team member shortly. As we are about to leave, we encounter Volo, and he would like to have a little quick battle just to see how we are, since word spread of how amazing we are at catching Pokemon. With it being the very first battle, we won easily. We start off with a catching tutorial, being a Bidoof, a Starly, and a Shinx. After catching each of those Pokemon, we show Silene, and we get accepted into the Corp with a new outfit. So now that we're out and on our own, I went out to go look for our very first team member, who would be Mime Jr. for right now. Unfortunately, the first time I encountered it, I chose to throw a ball at it instead of putting it into battle. But luckily, I was able to find a second one and had no problems catching it. So let's welcome Mime Jr. to the team. I actually found a third Mime Jr., which I decided to catch. That way, I would have more than just one in case if I ran into any problems. After gaining enough research points, I was able to rank up to Star Rank 1. As we leave, Akari decided that she wanted a battle because she saw how awesome we are with our Pokemon. And she wanted a battle so she could become just like us. We were told to meet up with another Corp member to help us along the way, and along the way I found a wild Pichu. And I knew I instantly had to catch it because this was one of those rare spawn Pokemon. And I had spent a lot of time just trying to find one. We eventually got to May with her Munchlax, who wanted to take us on in a battle. I lost second 2 times, to be honest, and the third time I finally won after doing a bunch of leveling up. After getting past her, I happened to find a wild Munchlax, which I caught for our team. As we progressed through the story, we found an Alpha Kricketune who was causing havoc. So we were told to battle it, and we had absolutely no trouble defeating this Kricketune. And I feel pretty confident in this run, even though it's this early. After that, we had to report back to the commander, where we found 2 other clan members, the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan, and they were talking about the Frenzy Cleavor and who is to take care of it. I happened to walk in, and they decided that I should be the one to help since I'm in neither clan. Before leaving to help out with the Frenzy Cleavor, I decided to upgrade my satchels so I am able to carry more items, because let's face it, the more, the better. We made our way to Grand Tree Arena, where I met Leon, who decided she wanted to battle us to see how good we really were. After defeating her, we learned that we can help calm down the Frenzy Cleavor by throwing its favorite food. Adaman helped us out by talking with the noble Weirdeer of what has been going on and taught us how to call it if we ever need help. Now is Now the time finally came where we get to face off the Frenzy Cleavor, which, being the first boss, he wasn't much trouble at all. It was as simple as dodging and throwing bombs at it all day. After taking down the Cleavor, we reported back and we got permission to go to Crimson Mirelands. But in order to get there, we must be ranked 2, so I had to go back out and do more research. Before we could leave, Akari wanted another battle so she could get closer to her Pikachu, which is no problem for me, as that's more free experience for us. I eventually got enough research to be able to get out to the Crimson Mirelands, and when I got there, I decided to play it smarter and start working on research. Oh, we found someone who wanted to put up a new base location, but was having problems against 3 Stunkies. So after a quick 3-on-1 battle, we won. Next up, we met with Calabo and talked about the missing stone fragment. Volo showed up and wanted to see our strength that had helped defeat the Frenzy Cleavor. After a short battle, we found a abandoned campsite who apparently belonged to the 3 Misfortune Sisters. After a quick battle with one of them, we were given the missing stone fragment. We returned the missing stone fragment to Calabo, and she told us to meet up at a specific location where an Ursaluna was at. Upon arriving there, she called upon Ursaluna, and we had to battle it in order to gain the ability to ride it. We eventually won, and we met up with the commander who found another frenzy Pokemon for us named Lilligant. Using Ursaluna's ability to sniff out, we were able to find Arazu, who injured her leg, helping out collecting Lilligant's favorite food and to make them into bombs. We eventually got to the Frenzy Lilligant, and after a little dancing match, not really, it was a battle, but she likes to dance, we were able to help calm down the Frenzy Lilligant. We went back to the commander and he informed us about our next mission. After doing a little bit more researching to get to rank 3, we headed for Cobalt Coastland. Almost immediately after entering Cobalt Coastland, Iridia wanted to battle us again with her team of Glaceon and Eevee. We stumbled across a guy named Yorich who was having a little trouble from a Chatot. After a quick battle, we helped him out and were able to get a new base location set up. We met up with Paulina, who told us to meet up with a guy named Eisken if we wished to cross the sea. He told us that we needed the help of Dusclops to make bombs, but he is too scared to do it himself because Dusclops is a ghost Pokemon, and he does not like ghost Pokemon. After many attempts of trying to catch Dusclops, we were able to catch one and bring it to Eisken, who toughed it out and were able to make us Basculegion's favorite snack. We went down to the water's edge and fed Basculegion his favorite food, which ended up giving us the ability to play the flute, so we could call him anytime we needed to. But the Misfortune Sisters intervened and stole the Growlithe. So we hopped on our newly acquired Basculegion, and we found a squadron of Mantike, and we caught one of them for the team since they were a baby Pokemon. We got to Fire Spit Island where we found another baby Pokemon, Magby. We caught it, added it to the team, and headed all the way up to the top where the 3 Misfortune Sisters waited for us and insist on a battle with each one of them. After taking down the 3 sisters, the one and only noble Frenzy Hisuian Arcanine decided to show up, and without being able to ask any questions, we were thrown into a battle. Once we were able to calm down the frenzy Arcanine, we reported back to the commander and received our next mission from Silene. As we head out of the building, we fought Adamant to show Melly what we were made of. And like always, we had to go out and do a little bit more research. So we were able to rank up to star level 4, so we were able to enter Coronet Highlands. As we made our way to Coronet Highlands, we were introduced to Ingo, who personally, I don't know too much about him, but I do believe he first appeared in Pokemon Black and White, which I still need to play that game. We also met with Melly, who wanted to see if we were worthy to continue. After going through the cave, we met up with Melly again, but wanted to battle us to get past, which is funny because we came up from behind. So Melly's not a very good guard. As we continue our way up to the top, we battled Ingo to acquire Sneasler. Unfortunately, with this battle, I discovered that I never changed my moveset until now, which made the battle winnable. Up to this point, our Pokemon are about in their 40s, and surprisingly, we have not had much problems. It's been a lot of, I hit you, you hit me, back and forth. So far, I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good, at least. So I think this challenge is going to be fairly easy with the random times of battles that could be. After the Ingo battle, we made our way to the top, where Melly wanted to battle us. Unfortunately, we had to level up. Melly kept destroying us with her Skuntank and Zubat. After that battle, we were able to face off the Frenzy Electrode, and like all other Frenzy Pokemon, we were able to calm it down and report back to the commander to finish the mission and achieve rank 5. Upon leaving the village to go to Alabaster Icelands, Akari wants to do another practice battle. Once we got to Alabaster Icelands, I realized that we can catch a Chingling to make our team full and complete. So the first thing I did was go right there and catch one. We then headed to meet up with Garrick, who questioned us about our mission and then battled. Garrick told us about Sabby, who could help us, but she insists on playing a little hide-and-go-seek game. So after many rounds of hide-and-go-seek, we got to the top. We had to go through the temple and do a few puzzles in order to get to the top to meet up with Sabby one last time. We battled Sabby and won the rights to acquire Bravery. Once we got the ability to fly, we flew to where the Frenzy Avalog was at, so we were able to battle. Once that was done, we reported back to the commander only to be blamed of the unexplained new events that was happening and kicked us out of the corp. However, both clans wanted to help us, but we were only able to choose one. I decided to go with the help of Clan Pearl. We were told that we needed the help of a red chain, and the only way to get that was to seek out Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie. So we entered Lake Verity and fought Alpha Gudra, which then Mesprit showed up and tested us. After passing its test, we received its plum. We then headed over to Lake Valor, where a Alpha Overquill waited for us. Azelf showed up. Once that was defeated, we passed its test and received its Fang. We then headed to our last stop, Lake Acuit, where we fought a Alpha Zoroark. Uxie showed up, passed its test, and we received its Claw. We headed over to the Shrouded Ruins, where we acquired the Red Chain. On top of Mount Coronet, Benny waited for us. He wanted a battle, and after multiple attempts, we finally won, thanks to his Gardevoir and Gallade. We moved closer to the peak, where the commander waited and challenged us to a battle, which I may say was a lot easier than fighting Benny. On the top, Palkia appeared and destroyed the Red Chain. We ended up catching Palkia because what else do you do when a Pokemon shows up causing havoc? You grab your Pokeball and you catch it. Immediately after catching Palkia, Dialga showed up, and we had no choice but to retreat and meet up to figure out what to do. We decided that we needed to talk to Liam, who might be able to help us out. Once we got to the cave, Charm, one of the Misfortune sisters, challenged us to a battle, and after the defeat, we obtained the Origin Ore. Once we got the Origin Ore, we headed to the professor, who made us the Origin Ball. We headed back to the top of Temple of Sinnoh and defeated the Origin Dialga and caught it. Normally this is where the game would end, but I want my full money out of this game. So we go to post-game stuff. Volo asked us to help him learn about more of the Hisuian myth. It resulted in us meeting up with Kogita and told us to look for more plates that could help us learn more about the history. With that, we battled the commander for the Fist plate. We caught Mespirit, Ezelf, and Uxie for the Draco plate. We went to Fire Spit Island to catch Heatran for the Iron plate. Went to Moon View Arena and caught Cresselia for the Dread plate. We went back to Snow Point Temple and caught Regigigas for the Blank plate. We talked to Kogita again and gave her 3 logs of wood for a Pixie plate. After all that, we decided to go and catch Shaman for fun, because why not? Shaman is a mythical Pokemon, and why not catch a mythical Pokemon? We met up with Volo at the top of Temple of Sinnoh, who revealed his true colors and battled us. After an insane amount of losses and leveling farming, only to be destroyed by both forms of Giratina. I was very surprised that we basically were at level 100, level 95 to be exact. I didn't think we were going to have this much problems at this point, as we were cruising through the game pretty well. After we finally won, we received this spooky plate from Volo. I would like to just quickly throw out something I realized while editing this, is that I forgot to mention that I took out Magby and caught myself Riolu. It turned out to be the better choice, as Magby wasn't really pulling his weight and Riolu was. Our flute magically transformed into the Azure Flute. Upon playing it, we were told that we must catch all the Pokemon if we wish to meet with Arceus. We went out to catch the missing Pokemon that was left, which was Giratina, and we learned that there was an elemental trio that we must catch that Kogita told us. Tornadus, Thunderous, and Landorus, along with the newly Pokemon Enamorus. We played the flute once more once we acquired a full completed Pokedex, and Arceus showed up for the last battle. After a few moments that I felt that was unfair, we defeated Arceus. He gave us a little piece of him so we could use him in battle, and that completed our challenge. Now that this challenge is done, I'm a bit grateful. This took longer than what I thought, but I still had fun. Even though what I originally thought of our final level that we would probably have to be at to beat the game was much higher, I still had fun. The next challenge that I have planned is in Pokemon Sword, and let's just say that team is interesting. What do I mean? You'll have to wait and watch it. But until next time, I'll see you later. I do want to thank you guys for watching this. I know it can be a real struggle, especially if you watch it from the beginning all the way to the end. I am no way a public speaker, so I stumble across my words a lot, but I do want to say thank you for watching this to the end. I am improving slowly, and hopefully in the next video you'll see even more improvement in the video after that, and the video after that, and eventually I will be able to speak without any problems.